Wisdom gives us the ability to have a discipline of instruction, to be able to know what to do and how to do. And then it also gives us a desire to be perceptive, to perceive understanding, a tenacious hunger to understand life and not just to live life, to understand the life that we live, not just to exist in life, but to understand the life that surrounds us. Perhaps many of the challenges, many of the mistakes, if you will, the decisions that have ended with great error are because we don't really understand life. We don't understand our environment. We don't understand our present surroundings. Because we don't understand, we can get so caught up in what the world displays to us, what the world tells us, what the world wants us to believe. But Solomon was a man who would not allow the world to lead him, but Solomon was a leader in the world that he lived in. You and I, we don't want to be led by the nose, if you will, by the world that we live in. We want to be leaders in the world that we live in. Again, it doesn't matter if you're a parent, if you're a ministry leader, you're a CEO, you're a corporate executive. We still don't want to be led by the world, but we want to be leaders in the world that we live in. We can't be leaders if we don't have understanding. We can't have understanding without the hunger, the desire to perceive, to know. We can't know if we don't have instruction to know what to do and how to do. And that instruction, that discipline for instruction only comes from wisdom. Let's look at verse 3. To receive the instruction of wisdom, watch this, justice and judgment and equity. To receive the instruction, watch this. When we receive the instruction of the discipline to know what to do and how to do, when we receive that instruction, look at what it leads us to. Look at the fruit that it brings. When we receive instruction is going to give us justice, judgment, and equity. It's going to allow us to have justice, to know how to properly align correctly, how to walk in this life correctly, to have judgment, to be able to evaluate, to judge correctly. So we have justice, the right alignment, that's justification, the right alignment. We're comparing, watch this, we're comparing what we're doing in this world, not with other people in this world, but we are comparing what we're doing in this world with what God is doing in eternity. I'm trying to hold this back till we get to the next teaching, so you can really understand this. See, we are aligning ourselves. Without wisdom, we are aligning ourselves with what we see around us. See, wisdom gives us the ability to see beyond this temporal world, to see into the eternal world, to see into God's world, to see where God is really leading us. God's plan for us does not begin at the crib and end at the grave. God's plan for us is eternal. This is one of the things we have greatly stressed here in our teaching. That life, watch this, the gift of life is eternal. It's everlasting. It's not limited to your experiences in this age from birth to the grave. God's gift of life is eternal. So watch this. So because we have the instruction that comes from wisdom, we are able to have justice. Justice is the ability to justify or to align ourselves. To align ourselves to what? To align ourselves to what God is doing in eternity concerning what we are doing here in the temporal world. That justice will give us correct judgment, so that we can now evaluate, measure. We can properly weigh and balance. Judgment gives us the right weight and balance of what we are experiencing in this world. So we don't allow our tragedies to overwhelm us. We don't allow, watch this, even our blessings to cause us to be overreach, to not see the right, to get the right measure or to have the right judgment, to understand that every gift that God gives us, every blessing that God gives us is something that we should be grateful for. But we should understand that even when we are not having our best day, that God is still our God, that we are still walking in the benefit and the blessing of life. And then equity, balance. When we have judgment, we can walk and live in balance. Wisdom is going to empower us to have the discipline, the instruction, to be able to properly align our life with what God wants to do, to be able to have right judgment so that we can properly evaluate, to measure, to judge, and to give us equity, to give us balance so that we can walk spiritually soberly, balanced in harmony with the plan of God for our life.